Hey there, Wixman Ray here. I'm giving you a weather update here for Saturday, January 24th, 2026. We're almost at the end of January. Hey, that's good. Winter will be over soon. Sooner, anyways. A couple more months, maybe, by March or April, depending on where you live. Anyways, enough rambling. I wanted to give you an update of what it looks like. It's been 2 days since I kind of gave you a weather update here. This is taking us from about now, from about noon Central Standard Time through about 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you can kind of see this is the GFS depiction. They're in pretty good line with all the other models right now, for at least for the short term. So um, this is kind of close to what I showed you on my previous video. We still got snow lingering all the way up into southern Iowa and to parts of at least the southern half of Illinois. And then it'll press eastward and start getting near the Appalachians. Then we got this purplish looking stuff, which is mostly sleet in this area. And then when you see more of these reds, orangish red, I guess, more of a red color. That's where they're forecasting a little bit of freezing rain. And you can kind of see there's a little swath, like we saw earlier, a little dry area where there's not going to be as much precipitation through northeast Texas into the Arklatex region uh, for part of today. And then down south, looks like this yellow here, this is like moderate to heavier, rain. So when it's embedded in the green here, just so you know what that is. So that's just some heavier rain that's going to be across from, near Baton Rouge, across southern Mississippi. And then back east, or not east, west, still some lingering snow across eastern New Mexico and the Rockies, and a little bit of light snow for the lower elevations out here of New Mexico and Arizona, just some light rain falling through there. So they're getting some much needed precipitation down there. As we go forward in time here, this is tonight, Saturday night, into Sunday morning. So we can see Sunday morning, man, it's this next wave has come in. We got some pretty good snows, especially from northern Arkansas all the way up into southern Indiana and up towards Pennsylvania, northern West Virginia, northern Virginia, near the DC area. So it's going to get in there overnight into the morning as we head towards the DC and Philadelphia area towards Sunday morning. You can see here we've got a good swath of sleet from northeast Texas, southern Arkansas still, and then all the way up into Kentucky and then down into North Carolina. More of a chance of freezing rain, ice through northeast Georgia, northern part of South Carolina, all the way up into southern Kentucky and heading down into Mississippi here, and still lingering through East Texas and parts of Louisiana. So that's going to continue through tomorrow morning. I want to show you this feature. If you live out east, you know this. You're probably familiar with this. You kind of see how this cold air, wraps around here. And this is the Appalachian Mountains up through this general area, or actually over here. But so what's happening here is this is what we call cold air damming. So as this system has been approaching, we've had a lot of northeast winds bringing cold air from the north down through here. In that previous video I showed you, there were some 20s and teens back in this area, in Virginia and North Carolina, even parts of South Carolina was in the 20s, I believe. But a lot of cold air gets dammed up against the Appalachian Mountains, while it stays a little bit warmer actually in the higher elevations of the Appalachians and out ahead of this system here. So that's cold air damming going right there. So that's why you kind of got a weird look. And you see that there, they got it transitioning up to rain. If we go back in time, yeah, you can see they had some ice and pellets, maybe even some snow in eastern Tennessee. And then it looks like it may change over to rain. We get a little warm slot coming from this low pressure system, pushing some warmer air from the Gulf of Mexico or America, whatever you choose to call it. But yeah, that's coming that way. So we'll step forward. This is going through the day on Sunday. This is by Sunday evening 6 p.m. or so. Well, basically this is 6 hour period from about noon Central Time or 1 o'clock Eastern Time to about 7 p.m. Eastern Time. This is the depiction of the weather. So the low pressure moves all the way up into like near looks like right over West Virginia. You got all the rain across most of the southeast, most of Georgia, even South Carolina. So that warm air is pushed up into South Carolina. So it went from maybe an ice wintry mix to more of a rain mix as we get into Sunday, during the day on Sunday. And then even some of that warm air, you can see that up on the mountains of the higher elevations of the Appalachians and out ahead of this, before you get the cold air behind that low pressure cold front. Actually, you got a low pressure and then a cold front kind of drags down through the southeast into the Florida Panhandle. So that's you would see a cold front roughly in this area. So, and that's why you got all this rain precipitation along that cold front. So back, you got a lot of good snows from Kentucky, western Tennessee, still lingering, all the way back towards even Missouri, southern Missouri, still lingering snow through Sunday evening. And then that moves up into New York and parts of the Northeast. It looks like the DC area will get more into the wintry mix, ice, sleet, as we head in through the day on Sunday. So it's going to be a mess out there along the East Coast. Looks like a mix maybe around New York City, or there'll be snow. So they're going to be right near that line of where, it's going to be tricky on the precipitation type. So, yeah, so that's what that's looking like. As we move into, this is Sunday night into Monday morning, you see the system starts to push offshore. There's some lingering snow across the Northeast from, say, Boston up into Maine, and parts of New York through the day on Monday. Mostly light snow lingers. It's going to be windy up through here too, and definitely cold. And then back down through the southeast and the East Coast, it's going to get cold as we head into Monday. Still a little bit breezy, so there's going to be some wind chills and some chilly weather across the southeast, well below normal. Very cold. I'm sure many of the schools across this area may cancel, depending on what their criteria is for closing, and cold and wind chills and those kind of things. So all across the south and southeast, going to be an issue. And you can see the front goes out to sea, and it goes all the way across South Florida through the day on Monday. So Monday it's going to cool down in South Florida from Tampa southward. It's going to be, you're going to notice it for those people that live down there. As we head in through the rest of the week, very quiet except for up in the Great Lakes. So you got another clipper bringing some light snow flurries. The most significant snow will be where the lake effect band set up off of Erie, Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, all those lakes up there. That'll go through the day on Tuesday, maybe a little bit on Wednesday. Let's step back a little bit. So I want to put our focus out west. So Seattle's been pretty dry for quite a while, over a week, I think, maybe almost 2 weeks. Pretty unusual, but looks like this week the rain will return. This is looking at Tuesday afternoon, evening out on the West Coast. Looks like some rain will come in late Tuesday, Tuesday afternoon, evening through the night into Seattle, all the way down to Northern California. Just some light rain sweeping through as a system moves through there. Heading through the day on Wednesday, rain lingers from Portland northward up towards Seattle, so they're going to be back in the normal Pacific Northwest weather, rain. That's going to go through a good part of the week, starting, what did I say, late Tuesday? This is Friday, so it looks like you might get a break on Friday, late Friday into Saturday. I mean, that's the current model. But, yeah, so I just thought I'd point that out. Yeah, just for your awareness, if you're out in Central California and you know you're still in the fog out there, although some of it's starting to dissipate as the front went through the west. Also, yeah. Unbelievably, this cold front that went through all the eastern part of the U.S. actually affected the Intermountain West all the way to California and Nevada. We've had a cool down out here as a cold front came through last night. So that'll wash out some of the fog, at least in the northern part of the valley out in California. But they may get it redeveloping through the week, so until this next system moves in. So, and that might not do much to it. But anyways, I'm rambling. Hey, other thing I wanted to show you, you see here towards Friday, let's back up a little bit. Some of the models hint at maybe some precipitation out there in Dodge City, Kansas, down towards Amarillo. The American model is not depicted. I saw it on the European. So something just to keep an eye on later in the week. There might be some light snow, but there might not. The models are picking up on a low forming in South Texas towards the end of the week, towards the weekend, basically on Friday. Earlier runs showed it tracking along the Gulf Coast, maybe. There's still going to be some cold air. I mean, it's going to be cold out here all week across the south and southeast, even into Florida all week. I mean, be prepared, people. You probably heard it. But earlier models were showing maybe some snow along the northern fringes across this general area from just south of Shreveport all the way across southern Georgia. But at this point, it's showing maybe a little bit of rain. It's not quite cold enough. And then it kind of tracks down into the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America, whatever your choice is. So some uncertainty on what's going to happen there. Right now it's trending that there probably won't be anything significant across the south, but hey, I would just stay tuned to the weather because it can always change. This is a week out, so yeah, today's Saturday, so that's a week from now. So another note, feature to note, although this is way out and things can change, so I wouldn't even, this is just kind of gee whiz information. Kind of a little low develops off the coast of the Carolinas with some snow possibly along the East Coast, maybe towards the weekend. But other models have it farther out to sea. Some models don't even show anything. So, hey, just keep an eye on the weather as we head towards the weekend. There could be another system brewing up over the ocean out there. So, you never know. Might not be anything to worry about, but generally pretty quiet other than the cold for the rest of the week. So, and that's typically what happens when you have a pretty strong system. It stays quiet for a while, just quiet and cold. And where you got all that snow cover, be prepared. It's going to stay cold all the week. It's going to take a while for that snow to melt, even across the south, until you start warming up a little more. So, hey, have a great day, a great weekend, actually. Wixman out.